over. They got the office pretty much painted. They're gonna clean the floor. We're gonna start, we're gonna request some new desks. We have that in our budget to get, and then we'll gradually plan to be over there maybe by 1 April is our goal to move over to the south side of the building. I'm gonna start working on a campaign for some more DAV drivers for the DAV vehicle. It's a long process. We've lost a couple and we always lose a couple during the winter time anyway. Other than that, are there any questions?
I have for clarification on the out of county clients that you deal with. Did you say it was 52 or something like that?
23 out of the 152.
Now, there was a piece of legislation introduced out at Pier just now in reference to every county to have a veteran service officer according to the population. And it got shot down. I mean, it didn't go anywhere. What are your thoughts? Are you over, because we're bringing in more people from surrounding counties, are you overtaxed? How do we govern that as commissioners? How can we help you, or what's supposed to?
Well, that's a great question, Commissioner.
It's been a tricky thing. I think
It is, you know, we definitely are not out soliciting, but if I have a veteran that comes in from a different county or a county across the state and they say, hey, you know, can you help me? I'm not going to turn them away. I usually say, hey, you know, you do have a veteran service officer in your county that does the same thing. But again, you know, some of the counties, they're only working, you know, 1 day a week or maybe a couple days a week, and they're calling, hey, my father passed away. He was a veteran. So we try to help them out from that standpoint. The bill that passed, you know, Minnehaha County has one VSO. They have the most veterans in the whole state. The regional office that works for the Department of Veterans Affairs takes the brunt of doing all those walk-ins. So that's why that bill I think was originated, to try to get additional help in that county, because it was written by a
It didn't make it.
No, it did not make it, but I don't know. I mean, that's, you know, I work for the county and I work for the commission. You know, again, I don't know. I'm not going to turn away a veteran because they came to my office. I'm going to let them know that there is a VSO, but I guess, you know, I'm a veteran and I don't want a veteran. So I guess that's kind of your guys's. You know, if you tell me, hey, don't work with anybody outside the county, then I would do that, but I don't think we want that.
Does the state veterans, what's the state called?
State Veterans Affairs.
Office.
Yeah.
Do they issue any guidance on that kind of stuff, or they probably say it's up to us?
They basically, they have in their statute laws, and that's what they were trying to do, is saying that each county will have a veteran service officer, but how much you know, how much time is dedicated to that veteran service officer? Are they double, you know, double tasked as emergency management and veteran service officer? I think that comes from the county, from the veterans within the county. If they really don't feel that they're getting satisfaction, like I've talked before, the gentleman that runs Davison County down in Mitchell, he's basically grabbed, I don't want to say grabbed, but has acquired, I think he has 3 additional smaller counties. So where those veterans in those counties have somebody that they can call 5 days a week, 8 to 5, where before they might have only been able to contact their VSO on Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to noon. So they get a better service.
So you're saying they have Davidson has a formal agreement with some surrounding counties about that. Okay.
Yep. And then I think that money, that the stipend that we get from the state, from the Veteran Service Office, I think that money is then given to Davison County, if I'm not
They would
mistaken.
have to, in order to get that money, we have to send in your salary for the year. So at the end of December each year, I send in all what we paid you in salary, and then we get the 4,500 in the next year. So I'm not sure how that works with.
I don't know.
I think what generated my question is that, okay, let's take a county that the veteran service officer doesn't really do anything. But is getting a salary. And so that county submitted a request to get that salary reimbursed, and they will. And,
All we have
and
to
now
do is-
our veteran service officer is taking the brunt, I don't say the brunt, but doing the work for everyone. So what can we do to equalize this or help out? Is it just keeping you comfortable with the most modern and efficient way to operate your office by new technology, or what is it that we could what we can do? But actually what we're doing is helping the whole community.
Well, we are, and we're hoping, and we're helping anybody with any veteran. And I don't know if you as the commissioners meet with the other or know the other commissioners in the other counties
Mhm.
that where, hey, have we ever thought about maybe, I mean, that would be something that would generate from your level to say, hey, do we want to co-op together with VSOs? I don't know if that would be something.
Sounds like a good project for the liaison for the BSO.
Well, and I would do that. The thing is that if it's working, this goes back to being a veteran. If it's working, don't mess with it. But on the other hand, when it becomes a point when you may be overwhelmed or you think, enough is enough, that's when we may have to do something,
You guys look like you have something. to
You
ask.
mentioned 3 counties that co-opted together down there, including Davidson. Do all counties in the state of South Dakota have a VSO?
To my understanding, all counties are supposed to have a VSO. Some of them are, like Beetle County. Their VSO is also the emergency management director.
Okay.
Moody County is the same way that I know. That's the 2 that I know of. There might be others.
Or they work very limited hours.
Yes,
So in
Yep.
a small. in a
it's
small
based
town,
off
yeah.
of population of veterans from that standpoint.
I mean, that's an awful lot to keep up with when you're doing both of those jobs.
Well, I would say, yes, I would agree with that. And I think probably the veterans aspect are the one that's taken the brunt of the, neglect that, hey, we have county, we have an incident, the emergency director is going to have to work that as opposed to working claims. And, this is being talked a lot from, within the state, in the county veteran service officers to, make sure that we have quality. I mean, basically bottom line is making sure that the veterans are taken care of the best that they can be.
Now, that's what I was thinking of, the quality type. If
Commissioner
you're
Schwer,
doing half a day a week.
did you have a question?
No, there's a lot of other things that have happened at a county level that we're working together, and I'm not opposed to looking at something like that. I mean, it's just a population shift, people shift. I mean, it's just the way it's
Yeah.
evolved right now.
Yeah, and like I said, we have good working relationship with our fellow veteran service officers from that standpoint. It doesn't, not like we're trying to, in some areas where you're recruiting or something like that, you would call it poaching, going out and getting veterans. That's not really the thing. It's just taking care of the veteran or the family, that whatever you have to do, you're not, and you, hey, yeah, so-and-so call, oh, yep, I sent him back over to you, or this and that, and some people just don't connect with their VSO, bottom line,
And if this would ever become a pressing problem.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've been very forthright, and I would feel that you would be able to come to the commission and say, hey, you know what?
I just thought it was a good metric to actually show that we do help.
Yeah.
Not got into.
Just one last question. So in your view, do other, so we're trying to set you up with good technology and everything. Are other counties doing the same thing or other VSO offices doing the same thing? I mean, you don't have to name names, but.
No,
kind of-
I
kind of
mean,
your
I
perception.
would, when we got on VBMS, and that's the VA system, when I got on there, I mean, that really changes your avenue of what you can see and how you can actually help a veteran,
Right.
from that standpoint. Yeah, I mean, some of the counties, the VSOs might not be tech savvy. I mean, I don't consider myself a slouch when it comes to techness. But Jay has really helped me out a lot from that standpoint. I do think that having that technology and stuff like that, maybe some of the VSOs should move that way. But again, if they're only in the office for 8 hours or even 16 hours in a week, by the time they answer their phone calls and their emails, that pretty much eats up a day, and then to sit down and
Yeah.
do your claims, I mean, it doesn't take long, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Well, if there's anything that we can help you with, you need to be sure and prod us, because we're here to help you. And for the other commissioners, I rub shoulders with these other veterans, and they have nothing but good to say about our VSO. We're very, very proud of this gentleman right here, doing a great job for the county. That's your raise for this year.
thank you. I would say, we are looked at as one of the leading, and I say that because people say, well, how did you get? I said, well, I talked with my commissioners. You're straightforward. If you're not talking with your commissioners, and we are, I would say that us, Pennington County, I would say that our commissioners from that standpoint are leading the way of providing a ample VSO office to take care of people. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
So thanks.
Thank you.
Good discussion. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 8 on the agenda is an action to approve ARPA January salary costs.
All right, so we have about 1.3 million left in ARPA funds to use up, and the salary claims that we can transfer for the month of January come to $673,717.40, and that is after we disallow WIC and emergency management, because we already received funding for those types of things, and also our COPS employee.
Move to approve.
Okay, motion by Johnson. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Swear. Any questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay. Number 9, action to appoint Michelle Kokachik. Hope I I got that right. Okay. To the Codington County at-large position on the First District Association of Local Governments Governing Board. Michelle, since you're here, do you want to just give us just a quick explanation of that? So it's it's part of the Watertown. Well, maybe I can describe it for her. So, well, this is First District. Okay, so you'd be the at-large member, just for everybody's knowledge. So she's Michelle's the director of the Watertown Development Corporation. So I'll just ask, is there any discussion, any questions about Michelle? Okay. Then is there an entertain a motion?
So move.
So a motion by Johnson, second by Waterman. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Okay, that motion carries. Congratulations, Michelle. So number 10, action to approve a resolution to designate county officials for fire suppression assistance requests. And is Andrew, you want to explain that one for us? Thought I saw you lurking in the back, so.
Was lurking. You caught me. Basically, it's my understanding that the commission is just required to appoint personnel for rangeland fire suppression and authorization to commit county funds for mutual aid requests for fire suppression.
Okay, so we do this annually, correct? Or is it whenever there's a
We
change?
do it annually if there's a change.
Okay.
Yeah, we did do it last year. I think it's when Andrew came on, probably,
Yeah, okay,
because I think Jamie was our appointee
Previous.
before. So then when Andrew came on, we did up this date, this just a year ago. And then since Brenda has left the
okay,
county commission, we needed to
okay, so it's,
do this again.
okay,
Yep.
so is it the role of the chair typically?
Mhm.
Okay,
It has been the role of the chair
Okay.
typically, yes.
All right. okay. Any questions? Oh, thanks, Andrew. No. So is there a motion?
I move that we'll do that.
Okay.
Adopt
Motion-
that.
Motion by Kurt to approve resolution. to adopt.
Second.
Second by Johnson. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Okay, that motion carries. Sandra, and then. I think
This is the next one.
Yeah, the next one. Yeah, the next one. So number 11 is action to approve a resolution adopting the Codington County disaster, pre-disaster mitigation plan. Which is there on your screen. And it's an annual requirement or?
Nope, this plan is,
5 years.
every 5 years, they update the PDM. This process began, well, I mean, even really before I came here, but as far as like the initial meeting and development of the plan, that's been an ongoing
Right,
process over the last year. Our planning team met for the final time back in December. Reviewed the plan, made any changes or recommendations for changes. First district sent that into the state and then FEMA, and they authorized it, basically pending approval from the county and each of the municipalities within.
Right.
This is an ongoing thing. Yearly.
Nope, every 5
5
years we
Every
get
5
a
years.
TDM, and it's required to get mitigation funding.
It is question is well, are there any significant changes? So I know this is a huge, so a huge document, but
I mean, really,
or just updates of points of contact and those kinds of things or
there's not significant changes. I mean, because the hazards are pretty much the same as, like what they have been previously. I suppose like anytime there's a different team, I mean, there's going to be like a little bit different ideas. I mean, what change or the most significant changes are the mitigation projects that have been completed and getting those off the list, and then like moving other projects onto the priority list.
okay.
Is there a requirement on where this is filed? I imagine.
Good question. I
Filed
think
at the
that,
state level, are we required to have a digital copy or anything on,
I don't know that we needed,
just,
I don't
Curious.
know, I don't know if we need a digital copy, but
Okay.
actually, when I read through the plan, I think that they said that we would post one.
Okay.
So I would just get with, Hartley, I forget her first name, but she would,
Karen,
but she would
our
get
web
that.
designer?
Yeah,
Okay,
so we
get
get
something
hang that
posted on
there.
our website, okay,
I think
Okay.
the final drafts on First District's website, yeah.
okay.
All right. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, ready to vote? Okay.
I move to approve.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we do need motions. Yes, that's good. Yes. Motion by Johnson. Is there a second? Second by Waterman. So any other questions or discussion? No, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Yeah, that motion carries.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. And number 12, is that yours too, I'm guessing? So
Yeah,
action to author, so number 12 is action to authorize application of an HMEP grant. If you would decipher that for us to refresh our memory. I know we
So-
do this regularly.
yeah, well, about every year, we apply for a hazardous materials emergency preparedness grant. What that has historically been is classes that we hold for incoming or fairly new law enforcement students at LATC. Just kind of giving them awareness of how, like, incidents that they may encounter, be called to, and just basics on, how to protect themselves from it. About an 8-hour course, positive turnout. Actually, the city street department sent several of their people through this year as well. I mean, really, it's not a cost to us because volunteer hours can count towards that. So for our
Yeah, for our
portion of the grant. So. Like my plan was to do that. This year we trained about 40 so far and that just at LATC between the students and the street department. And then we have another one for the search and rescue that's coming up here.
These
So my
grant
plan
funds
would be-
reimburse us for our trainers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, the trainers that put on the,
So my plan would be to do that, but it's also been, I think 2002 was our last commodity flow study. So I would, like, my plan is to also use that or apply for a grant for a commodity flow study. And what that does is just gives us a good awareness of, like what's coming through the county, what's driving down the roads every day, like what quantities.
That would make sense, but that sounds like a separate grant though.
It's still
As a part
My
of it has, it would
understanding.
make sense if it's with, hazard mitigation,
So, I
hazardous
mean,
material.
they
Yeah,
we would probably do like the three total, then the 2 for LATC and then 1 for the commodity flow study.
okay, what kind of amounts of money are we talking, just to give us a.
Yeah. Good question. I'll do.
It can be
some-
rough, I mean, just
Yeah,
rough is fine.
I'll check into that a little bit more
Okay,
before I,
okay.
yes.
All right, so the agenda item says it's just authorizing application for the grant, so to include you're thinking including instruction, training, awareness, and then also a study on
The flow
the
study.
commodities flow, so any questions?
So move.
Okay, motion by Johnson.
I'll second it.
Second by Schwer. Any other questions or discussion? So we're authorizing just the application, so. Yeah. All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Okay, that motion carries. Thanks, Andrew. Okay. And next one from last week, discussion, number 13 is discussion action to update Codington County Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual. I think I got it here on the screen.
Morning, Commissioners.
All right.
Good
Morning.
morning.
I'm gonna start and do a quick intro. This is Larissa Swanson. Larissa started last week with our team, Multi-Business Solution, as an HR associate. And so she is going to be a backup here for me at Codington if I'm not able to make it, or she might work on some policies or job descriptions or other of your things. So Larissa is part-time with us. She also owns a business here in Watertown, Sweat Lab Society. And so,
Great.
yeah, I can let you say anything, I guess, that you want about yourself or.
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up, but yeah, I started a week ago, like she said, so I'm brand new. I'll just be kind of helping out when I can. But yes, I don't know. Sweat Lab is just on the corner down here. So if you guys haven't,
Okay.
it's just right down the street. So yeah,
What does that business do?
we're group fitness. So we teach any
No,
kind
I don't know.
If you'd like to take a cycling class.
That stuff will kill you. Is it Swenson?
Swanson.
Oh, Swanson.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Right, very good.
All right, thank you. So yeah, as Lee said, 2 weeks ago, we had the first, I guess, review of the changes to the manual, and you got copies and had a chance to review them. And so I guess, do you have any questions on any of the things that we are proposing for changes?
So I think you went over the changes
I did.
before, so everybody okay with them? So we talked about what the changes actually were two weeks ago. So you updated the table where the different commissioner liaisons and board assignments, so. All right,
It was nice to have a hard copy and.
Yeah,
and
good.
A
Good.
relaxed atmosphere.
And you read every page of it, didn't
Most of it, yes, I'm sure.
you?
but it's easy to do the changes, to check the changes, so. All right, is there a motion to approve these changes to the?
So
person?
moved.
So motion by Johnson, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Schwer. Any other questions or discussion since? All right,
Welcome aboard.
okay.
Thank you.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We'll say no. Yeah, that motion carries. Thank you.
Thank
for that.
you.
This is kind of a pain to keep updated, so appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, number 14, action to approve claims for payment.
Claims we have today are January salary claims in the amount of $698,850.79. And this is the month where we are required to list each employee and their gross salary per statute. And this is also the month that we pay out uniform allowances, so it's a little bit higher than it will be maybe next month.
Their motion to pay the bills.
I
This-
move.
This bill anyway.
I move that we pay this.
Okay, motion by
I'll
Schwer,
second it.
second by Johnson. Okay, any other questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no, and that motion carries. Okay, number 15, action to approve automatic budget supplement.
I have nothing for 15, 16, or 17.
Okay, so that brings us down to number 18, public notices, possible quorum of commissioners. Where there are different events that were possible quorum.
Well, the farm show going on all week, so I imagine I'll be out there every day. If somebody else comes out, we'll go have coffee.
Yeah, I'll be out, I'm sure once or twice.
Is there the correct, there's a Cracker Barrel, I believe, this weekend, probably, usually there's a Cracker Barrel on Saturday morning, so yeah, that's.
Saturday morning, 8 AM
Where's it at?
in the
Usually-
sail ring.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's pretty likely that there'll be a quorum of us there. Anything else between now and next week? Okay, is there any old business, number 19? Any new business? I do have one item, so I've scheduled a Codington County Justice Advisory Committee meeting for the 16th at 5 o'clock. Location is probably going to be in the courthouse, but stand by for the location. So that's going to be CCJAC, Codington County Justice Advisory Committee meeting, 16th, 5 o'clock, probably in the courthouse, but location to be determined. So, and Commissioner Van Duzen and I are on that committee. So we haven't met for probably close to, I think, over 3 years. But since there's been a lot of legislation about jails and things like that, just want to kind of get everybody up to speed that's on the committee. So that's wherever it is, it's going to be open to the public. Any other old business, or I'm sorry, new business? So we're on number 20. Okay, anything for the open? I'm guessing we didn't hear about any public comments on our by phone. Any commissioner comments? Everything's great. Okay. And I think we have need for an executive session. So under personnel, correct? Okay. So that is number one. Okay. So is there a motion to go into executive session? And there won't be any action afterwards.
So moved.
So a motion by Schwer, is there a second? Come on, guys, we got
Second,
okay. Okay, second by Johnson. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so much. Okay, so we're in executive.
Randy, your fob is ready if you can track down, and maybe